What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we have another segment. It's been a while since I've done my segment of Have You Seen Me? But I had to do this one, man, for my special guest, my missing partner, Mr. Brian Castano, man. Listen, the last time I done one of these, I think it might have been on either Gary Russell or Danny Jacobs or whatnot. But on this segment of Have You Seen Me, we have Brian Castano, who has been missing in action. The man has been missing since May of 2022. We have heard nothing from him since. All right, Brian Castano is from Argentina, I believe. Hell of a fighter, bro. Actually, I'll probably if you follow my channel, you know I'm a big Jermell Charlo fan. But I was probably the only person nervous for Jermell Charlo. A lot of people didn't realize how good Brian Castano was, but I heard about Brian Castano even in the amateurs. All right, I know he's beaten the likes of Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think he beat Errol Spence Jr. in the amateurs as well. The dude had a good amateur pedigree. I knew as soon when he fought Patrick Teixeira for the WBO title. I think it was on DAZN. It might have been in 2021. I was like, bro, I knew for a fact PBC was gonna match him up with Jermell Charlo, and we was gonna have an undisputed champion for the first time in the 4-belt era at 154 pounds. And I knew that was gonna be a tough fight, and I was nervous for Jermell Charlo. Now both fights, Brian Castano, displayed talent, and he carried himself very well. A lot of people thought Jermell Charlo lost the first fight. I'm not gonna lie, I had it a draw, and it's not anything biased, but I was even scoring it live. I was scoring it live or whatnot back when I was with this one group or whatever. I thought like I had it 114 apiece. I had Jermell Charlo. I had him winning like the first round, and it was another round he won. I had him. It was like two more rounds, but one of the rounds he won. Castano kind of landed a good shot at the very end. But I felt like Charlo controlled that round up until that moment or whatnot. And so and it was another round I gave him, and then round 10, 11, and 12, Charlo won those rounds. I thought that I don't even think it was up for debate. Charlo closed the fight very well, and that's how I ended up scoring in the draw. Now the that fight took place July, or I think it was July of 2021. Now the rematch took place May of 2022, and unfortunately, unfortunately for Castano, he got stopped in a rematch. Jermell Charlo, who's actually shown that he does better in rematches, which is okay. That's cool. He stopped Castano in the 10th round, and becoming the first undisputed champion at 154 pounds in the 4-belt era. And we have not heard anything from Brian Castano since. Actually, I take it a step further. I failed to mention that Brian Castano, many people thought that he also beat Erislan De Lara. Now, Erislan De Lara at this particular time when Brian Castano fought him, Erislan De Lara has been like kind of on a decline to me since 2019. He can't use his legs as much, so he's more vulnerable. He's more subjective to trade with you, and that's not his strong point. I thought Brian Castano kind of edged that fight out, but they called it a draw or whatever. So, it is what it is. We haven't heard from Brian Castano since May of 2022, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what's going on with him. Now, I saw a recent video he posted about 5 days ago where he does look like he's a bit out of shape or whatnot, but you could tell Brian, even when he's in shape, you could tell Brian Castano has the frame. You could tell that he's a fighter that gets out of shape when he in between training camps, right? Actually, this video right here, you can kind of see. He's not really in the best shape, but that's due to his frame. Brian Castano was a short guy. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me kind of what's his name? Brandon Rios. He has that stature. He has the frame. He kind of even just a little bit. Well, now his face, he got Brian Castano got a long chin, bro. He got a long face, but his frame, his body frame reminds me of Brandon Rios or whatnot. Brian Castano is very short for that weight class or whatever. But the thing about Brian Castano is that dude is a very good pressure, and he applies effective aggression, and he's very smart. He applies smart pressure. He's not your ordinary pressure fighter, and then he also knows how to protect himself. Like in the first fight with Jermell Charlo often throws, he loads on his hooks, right? But because Brian Castano throws shorter punches, if you guys remember, that's how Brian Castano was able to hurt Jermell Charlo, because he throws the shorter hooks and had Jermell Charlo on the ropes, where Jermell Charlo likes to load up on his hooks or whatnot. And Brian Castano caught him and hurt him or whatnot. Brian Castano can box, bro. That dude is a very good inside fighter. But the problem is, what's going on with him, bro? Unfortunately, these are things that happens in the sport of boxing. You got promoters that'll sign a fighter to basically feed to one of their fighters, and once they lose, boom, they're done with them. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I feel like that's what happened with the PBC. I feel like the PBC purposely signed him basically just to just to hand him over to Jermell Charlo, and now, it's like they kind of, I don't know, they wiped his hands with him. Now, it's not far-fetched that he could just be one of the many PBC fighters that just is not active, but I have a feeling that that's not really Brian Castano's MO, all right? We've seen situations like this happen. For example, George Kambosos, man, he beat Teofimo Lopez by split decision. What did they do? They handed him over to Devin Haney, but Top Rank knew right then and there. Now, unlike Brian Castano, Top Rank is, they're still, keeping Kambosos active, as evidence he's about to fight Lomachenko for the vacant IBF. Is it IBF or the WBO? One of those titles, anyways. This is just a part of the boxing game. This is what they do. Unfortunately. It is what it is, man. But all in all, bro, I really would love to see Brian Castano more active. I'd love to see him versus Tim Tszyu. I'd love to see him. An interesting matchup to me would be Brian Castano versus Sebastian Fundora, where I think Brian Castano was the much better boxer, but I wonder how he would do against the height of a Sebastian Fundora. I would love to see that. I'd love to see him against Erickson Lubin. I'd love to see him against Jesus Ramos, man. There's so many great fights out there for him at 154 pounds, but unfortunately, we don't know where this man is right now, right? So I don't know, man. Al Heyman or somebody, I don't even know if he's still signed with the PBC. I mean, that could have just been for that. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so much that we don't know, but unfortunately, man, he's not active. All right, and he needs to be more active, because that dude is a good fighter, bro. He's a very good fighter, and I just want to see. Look at him. They throwing them hooks, man. Not right there. He was the one right here. Well, not right now, not. But anyways, the dude is a very good fighter, man. It is so many fights out there at 154. There you go. There's so many fights out there for him at 154 pounds, and he's still young in his career. You just hate to see somebody kind of just, I don't want to say waste their career, because again, like, I'm pretty sure it's not all his fault, man. I'm pretty sure if it was up to him, he would be more active. He actually trained out here in Arizona. He trained in Tucson for the Jermell Charlo fight or whatnot. But I don't know, man. Hopefully we hear back from old Brian Castano soon, man, because I would hate to be him to be in a situation where he done ballooned up in weight and can't even make 154 pounds healthy in a healthy manner, because he does not have the frame at all to fight at 160 pounds, bro. I just think that weight class is they're too big for him. They're too tall. He's not a tall guy at all, man. Truth be told, he really should be probably, like, with his height, he should be fighting at 147 pounds. But, it is what it is, man. He's at 154 pounds. And he was a former champion, so you got to give him all credit for that, man. Listen, all in all, bro, let's get this dude back to fighting. All right, I don't know. I hate to see a fighter waste his talent like that. But again, like I said, it may not be his fault. He's not a champion anymore, but I believe he can become a champion again, bro. Like, I really do feel like he can become a champion, bro. Especially, like, man, as long as they bring him back, bro. That dude can beat a lot of these guys. I don't know. The only person I feel like he would have a hard time again. Well, he would have a hard time in all those fights, but the one person I feel like that would probably beat him is Tim Tszyu. Outside of Tim Tszyu, I feel like, bro, he could beat all these other guys, bro, but not coming off of inactivities, man. He's got to be more active, all right? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about Brian Castano. Would you like to see him back in the ring? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?